Hi all. Here we are in week 13. And seeing as we are almost halfway through our semester, seems about that way, um, which is kind of nice. I think today I'd like to talk a little bit about adjusting to working and interning, only because I have found it a little bit challenging. I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely been tough, and although it's made the weeks go by quicker, at least a little bit more quickly than they would if I was just working, it has been tiring. I currently work 40 hours for one part of the company, and then I intern 18 to 20 hours for my internship. And it's okay, it's tough, but I guess the hardest part for me is going from one um, one entity of our job where it's complete mental health and mental health diagnoses and just almost pure insanity. I mean, so many things can change on a dime with our clients because of their mental health issues that you really have to keep up with it, especially with their medicines and making sure that they're on them, and just a whole bunch of factors that kind of go in with mental health. That can really be daunting. Don't get me wrong, I love my job and it's really rewarding, but it does have its downsides, um, especially when people aren't taking their meds or aren't doing them right. And then after that, I have to transition into the substance abuse part of me, where you know I'm not as friendly or as open as I would be with the clients that I actually work with, because there's a little bit more of a manipulation factor in those who deal with substance abuse issues. Um, Even though mental health has a manipulative side, it's more understandable because of the diagnosis, whereas some of the manipulation in the substance abuse side comes from wanting that high, or wanting to feel the way they did when they were using, and sometimes it's hard for them to break that cycle of manipulation and lying and basically getting what they want when they want it, which can be a little bit tough, because I like to be open and I like to have a nice conversation, and it really has to be molded when you're working with this type of clientele, only because relapse is a very, very, very significant thing. I mean, it is huge and it happens constantly. I mean, in the last probably month that I was there, 4 people have been kicked out for not, you know, obeying the rules, for stealing medications. I mean, they can take these meds in front of our counselors. I mean, they're that, I guess, good. I mean, and their level of sneakiness is amazing. I mean, you have moms and dads who work there who are used to dealing with 3 and 4 year olds who like to sneak things, and then there's these full grown adults who can do it right under your nose and not know it. So I think that being open with that type of population can be damaging. Should they go out and relapse, or if you give them any type of personal information, you don't want them showing up at your doorstep. And unfortunately, it's one of those things that can happen and has happened, and it's really important to keep that boundary, set that boundary from the beginning. So transitioning from one job where I am open and can have that type of conversation, to going somewhere where you have to be more less transparent. You really have to keep a front of keeping them knowing that you are their authority, one way or the other, whether you're older than them, younger than them, whatever the case may be, you are their authority and they need to respect that. And it's been a little bit tough kind of getting that to come out, but they have figured out that even though I am just the intern, that I am their authority. I do have the ability to talk to them, pull them aside, obviously talk to my supervisor, and talk to them about a consequence. I mean, in this world, no matter what, every action has a consequence. It doesn't matter where you are, what you do, or how you do it. It's unfortunately going to happen whether you want it to or not, or whether your action was a mistake or not. It's just the way of life. But seeing as I am running out of time, I guess my question is how are you guys doing transitioning, if you're working and then going to an internship that is completely different than your work? How are you guys doing with that? And if you aren't working and you're able to stay home and do school and complete your work at home, how has it been different for you having to go back to a place where, time is structured, you have to work certain hours and things like that? Bye.